Hey ladies, welcome to this week's Tip Tuesday. Today I wanted to talk to you about starting and keeping a prayer journal. Many of you may already do this, but some of you I know do not because I've heard some questions on how to do it. What exactly do you write in your prayer journal and what do you use? So since this is something that I have done for a while, I thought I would share a little bit about what I do, why I do it, and what I use. First of all, there's no right or wrong when it comes to keeping a prayer journal. It is completely up to you and what you like and how detailed you want to get with it. And there is no right or wrong on what you use. You can use post-it notes, index cards, cute little journals that you can buy anywhere, loose leaf paper, spiral notebooks, whatever you want to use, whatever falls within your budget amount, whatever, just whatever appeals to you. That's what you use, and that will work. I wanted to show you. Here's one of mine, and it is just in a 3-subject spiral notebook. I sometimes am writing out prayers. Sometimes I'm putting them on post-it notes and dating them. Again, there is no right or wrong way, but here's what I usually write on mine. I just wanted to share this with you. Usually what I write on mine is the date, the prayer request itself, and then the scripture that I'm standing on for that prayer. We know we need to find a scripture in the Bible that we are standing on. So if someone asks me to be praying for healing for someone, I'm going to write out one of the healing scriptures. I'm going to write out Isaiah 53:5, 1 Peter 2:24, Psalm 103:3, and I'm going to stand on those scriptures for that healing for that person. So that is what I write out. Now, there are reasons that I keep a prayer journal. And the main reason is so I will not forget to pray for you. If you ask me to pray for you, I want to be able to pray for you. And a lot of times, we get texts, we get emailed, we get phone calls. On Facebook, we see people needing prayer. Not always in person, and so we want to remember to pray for these people. I am ashamed to admit, but I'm going to be honest with you ladies, there have been times people have asked me to pray for things. I've forgotten to write them down, and then I've forgotten to pray for the thing until after it was over, like maybe a surgery or something, and then a few days later I'm like, oh my goodness, I forgot to pray for that, and that is a terrible feeling. As a Christian, if we say we're going to pray for somebody, we need to be praying for them, and so it's an awful feeling to forget to pray for somebody, and in using a prayer journal, writing it down, it helps to avoid that situation. So that's my number one reason, is so you will not forget. Number 2 is so you can go through after you've prayed and you can write down updates. Sometimes God directs us to pray in a different way for things. He's done that to me personally. And sometimes situations change, but you're not quite to the final answer. We know from the time we say a prayer until we get our answer, there's this in-between time. And, sometimes usually that time is longer than we would like, but it's all in God's good timing. And so in that in-between time, I like to be able to go back to that prayer and just thank God for the completion of that, for the answer that I don't see it yet, but I know He's working on it. And so I like to be able to go back and just thank Him for that. And then the third thing is I like to be able to record the answer. It's really awesome to be able to look back at a prayer. This just happened to us recently. I was praying for my husband for a situation, and I had been praying for over 2 years for it, and I had showed him, the dated page in my prayer journal and the prayer I had written out, and we're just now seeing the answers. And so it's really awesome to be able to just reflect on God's goodness and write down those answers and then look back and say, we've been standing a long time on this, but here we're finally seeing the fruit from it. We're finally seeing the manifestation, and it's just a really awesome thing. So I encourage you to start a prayer journal if you don't already do one. You don't have to do anything fancy. I've used post-it notes, index cards, loose leaf paper, spiral bound notebooks, and cute little notebooks. I've used it all and actually do use it all. I just kind of bounce back and forth. But there is no right or wrong in what you use or how fancy you decorate it up. I encourage you to date it, write out the prayer, find scripture to stand on, and then write some updates, just so as you can reflect on God's goodness. pertaining to that prayer. All right, ladies, have a great week.